Guys, I'm back with another astral traveling experience. Oh, I gotta get my talismans out, or my crystals and pendulums and shit. I'm always like wearing them. I love them. They're family to me, literally. Hold up, I gotta rearrange myself. Damn it. All right, I should do it. Yeah, I should do it. All right, so again, if you guys don't know what astral traveling is different, very different from astral projection. Astral traveling is your consciousness traveling to other dimensions or other parallel worlds or other places in general. um, all right, so or throughout time, I've literally tried. Yeah, not throughout time. That's astral projection. Sorry, I was getting like a vision, or rather, past life memory confused with astral traveling for a second. Um, but this experience, because I did say I wanted to tell you guys some more experiences. So my first experience with astral traveling. Wait, yeah, my first experience. Um, I don't know if I said this before. You know, I'll figure it out after I post this video. um, but no, I've not. I just thought about it. I just remembered I've not. All right, so my first experience was on Thanksgiving, and I did it accidentally. And so what occurred is I woke up because see my ex, she woke me the fuck up, and how that even occurred. Her astral self, her astral body, because your physical body and your astral body are two different things, two entirely different entities, literally. Like you, as the individual I just watched, Ryan Cropper, I just got done watching one of his YouTube videos. As he literally said, you can have a conversation with someone in the astrals, and yet their physical body doesn't even remember or it doesn't even know or doesn't have any sort of recollection of you two conversing at all, dead ass. So yeah, her astral body. I was sleeping, and my mind looking like, okay, I gotta like go get up because I gotta help my Okasa. I gotta help my mom make Thanksgiving food, right? Mind you, after the holiday, I stopped celebrating any sort of holiday after things after Thanksgiving. So I was like, I got to a high realization of things, but you know what? Let's not get to there. Let's not get to there, because that's not what this video is about. But still, actually, no, screw it. I got to a high realization of things, and it was like, bro, holidays are every day. So why do we celebrate these holidays like once a year? Does it make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me. But no, she was like, babe, wake up. And I was like clear as, I heard her voice clear as day, and I was like, what the fuck? And I got up, I was like, hmm? And I was like, oh shit, I gotta go do something. But I knew it was her who woke me up. I was like, my ex just woke me up. What the fuck? Um, but yeah, and then as I'm just sitting at the dining room table, well, no, the dining room table, no, the kitchen counter. My bad, the kitchen counter. I'm like, all right, cool, just relaxing, and then, because I was trying to talk about astral traveling and or just other things, and I couldn't due to my brother, and his girl who's on 3D. Well, they're both on 3D. They don't really understand the concept of like astral traveling and shit. So I just tried to keep that shit to me and my mom and YouTube, and other individuals, potentially speaking. But yeah. So I went to my room because my telepathically speaking, my sister and my ex were telling me, hey, go to your room and go just lay down, go lay down, go to your room and go lay down. And I was like, what? They're like, now. And I mean, it felt like they were screaming at me. And I was like, what the fuck? So I go to my room, right? I'm laying down because no one's here yet. It's like 10, maybe 11 a.m. I don't really recall the time. I know it was very early in the morning. Well, to me, it was very early in the morning. And I'm laying down, I'm imagining space, and then all of a sudden, I see myself walking through a mirror, like almost like a portal, and it's in space. So I'm like, I'm walking through, right, and I come out, and I when I go through the portal, I come into this like it's like a tower like place, and there's like steps and all right that go all the way up. They just go up, and I remember looking at my hands, and I was like, because my hands were like, you guys know Minecraft, right? It's basically it was like my hands were like pixelized, but more so like Minecraft, like a Minecraft arm. So I was like, so I didn't have hands. I just had a Minecraft pixelized golem like my skin tone, everything was like golem like, and I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? And I was like, all right, cool. So I was like, I'm going up. So as I'm going up there, mind you, when you Astral travel, as I said in I think my first video on awakening, as I said on that video, basically it's like things are images are skipping around. Things are nothing is completely like a video, like astral projection. Well, that's in projecting is entirely different, but nothing is very explicit, or rather, nothing is like fluid. Nothing is fluid. It's just like choppy. So basically, I'm walking up the stairs, and I get to the point where I'm like, I get to this room, and I'm looking at the room, mind you, and it's like an old-fashioned looking room. But there's two knights sparring each other, fighting each other, and aggressively, mind you. And what then occurs is what? There was this old guy, an old man, and he looked like some sort of philosopher because he had a book in his hand and he was reading it at one of the four black benches. I mean, literally black benches, dead ass. Um, and he was just reading, not paying any mind to the knights, just reading it. And I was like, okay, he's a philosopher from like the old times, like some, like 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 Aristotle, you know. But yeah, and so then the portal opens, and I go through it, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. I walk past him, I get through it, and when I go through this portal, I am like in a parallel world, parallel Earth. Now, what I'm first seeing is it's like I'm seeing images in a vehicle in a car. My apologies, guys. Yeah, I'm like in a vehicle in a car, right? And I'm looking at the interior of the car. I'm looking at the insides. I'm like, all right, cool, interesting. And I'm looking, and the more I'm looking at it, I'm like, this reminds me of my mom's car, right? And I'm like, wait a second, this is my mom's car. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, interesting, very interesting. But then apparently I see this guy come, because apparently I was like parked at some sort of store, and this guy, he was coming out, and see, I don't want to say in color, but well, technically speaking, it's all perception. But this white guy, he was coming out, and I was like, interesting, right? And I can literally feel and read his thoughts, read his mind as he's coming out, and I could tell what he's about to do because he starts walking. He's like walking like past my vehicle, but he's like I could feel, rather I could read his intentions of what he was going to do. And see, my ego was like, nah, because I'm consciously aware of like seeing what is going on, think consciously aware, being able to think, being able to just kind of talk to myself, while kind of seeing all this in first person point of view, right? Because again, with astral traveling, you can go from first person point of view to third person point of view at any time. You can jump back and forth. Um, but no, it was like this man's about to like try to break into my vehicle, and I was like, nah. I was like, I'm like, there's no fucking way, right? Because I'm looking like, nah, there's no way. Because I'm hearing like the other me's conscious like thoughts, and or rather, well, intuitively speaking, I guess you could say, I'm feeling this, and I'm like, nah. And then what happens? I hate it when that happens. I'll tend to that later on. Now, what happens after that is that he literally gets my door and then begins opening it, and we're literally playing tug of war with the car door for a good 10-20 seconds, and I'm just looking at him like, bro, are you dead ass right now? I literally remember hearing myself say, the parallel me say, get the fuck off my door, in the most aggressive way, literally, and then he just somehow vanishes, and I'm like, where did he go? Cause he and I just close the door, right. I close the door back, and I remember. I'm sorry. I'm just tired. I'm a bit tired saying this story. I gotta get you. I wanted to release this one of the stories I have. Well, yeah, another story. That is the first one, the first experience, and then basically, see, so I was all right, so I can do telepathy. So then I realized that it wasn't just me; it was just everyone on this world, this parallel world, could use telepathy, literally, to the highest degrees. And I was like, damn. And then towards the car door, right? I towards the car. The me was looking at the window, and then he did this. He did, and the window went down, and I was like, what? And he did this. And then it went out. And I was like, huh. And I'm like, so we can use telekinesis too. Then I remember, then I was like, wait a second. Because I'm thinking, like, where's this? Because he leaves the car, right? Again, I'm like, there's no sort of car interface to lock the door. There's no, like, to lock the door, to lock the doors, to lower the windows. There's no sort of car interface, right? I'm looking like, how the fuck does this shit function? But then I'm realizing that as I'm really looking and understanding the way this world works, but just by these images I'm catching and seeing, I'm realizing that on this parallel world, humans humans use telepathy and telekinesis primally, so to say. And I was like, interesting. But the thing is though, the money was so old. Like it was like there was no money to begin with. So let me say this. It was like the money was like looked like Bible paper, straight Bible paper, dead ass. And well, no, well more like Bible paper, but like napkins in a sense, like brown napkins, but Bible paper in it, like combined into one. And I was like, what? And I had a quantity of like this much, but I could tell that it was like mine. There was no dollar. There was no symbols on the money at all, no symbols whatsoever, just paper. And it was like, even though I had this much in my hand, there like the amount that I saw was I felt that it was very like a small amount. Like it wasn't that much of a big amount of money. And I was like, very interesting. And then what happened? I ended up locking the car door with not the door, the car itself with my mind, and I was like, hold up, so we use telekinesis to lock the car. You serious right now? Like I literally was up to that. I was like, he just locked the car door with his mind, or rather me. And I was like, interesting. And then what happened after that? Then I just noticed that because mind you, I'm looking in their person point of view. I am like seeing how it's windy a little bit, right? And I'm looking like he's gonna drop a bit of some of the money on the ground, And he does, and he just goes flying away, and it goes like a little bit into flight, and then I or me or him tries to go and like get it, logically, and then I come back to my body, and I'm like, interesting. The process was very, very interesting. When I came back, I knew some time had passed, and my grandfather, he came to my room because he just gotten here. He came to my room and he was like just looking at me, and he was like, "You all right?" Like, and I was, mind you, I looked like I was in a daze. It's how I literally was like, and he was like, "You all right? You sick?" And I'm like, then he just left out, and I just realized at that point that when you actually travel, it just takes. It's one thing that was my first experience, but something else to understand that hey, it takes some time for your consciousness to truly like, for you to truly like, I don't, what's the wording for it? To evaluate the memories, the experience you just had in parallel world, and I just was like, huh. Mind you, I had to ask my sister, one of my guides. I had to ask her like, how did was what kind of was I in the parallel world? And she was like, yeah, you were. So yeah, that was my first and most interesting. Well, at the time, it was my most interesting astral traveling experience. But yes, and I'll get to you guys with more experiences and some more videos I'll be posting later on in time. Hopefully, I won't be as tired, given I just got off work like a good 2 3 hours ago. I'm still fucking exhausted, so maybe I'll post another video tomorrow. But subscribe for more videos, and I love you guys very much. Stay tuned. Also, if you guys would like to, I don't know, be more inclined towards me, you can go follow my Twitter, which I'll be putting down in the not comment section, but the description. My Twitter, my Facebook, my Instagram, not my Snapchat, but yeah, into the description. So if you would like to follow any of my accounts or just follow me in general, subscribe for more videos. And again, as I said, I love you guys. Love and light. I hope an abundance of prosperity and blessings come your way. Jane.